Hey, peace, world, peace. Welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks, aka the $1 Trillion Goddess, baby. That would be me. I'm back with a new headline, honey. Diddy court witness says he saw 8 tapes with at least 2 celeb minors. Now, I mentioned this in a previous video, but I wanted to get into the details of it because there's been so many Diddy updates within the past couple days, including court filings, I believe, on both sides. I did also just recently read the government's response to 3 of the defense's motions, and there's also been a supplemental letter to that, which is not being revealed because the prosecution requested to have it one-sided until they finish investigating. The judge allowed it. So for now, we don't know what that letter has in it or what type of information or what investigation is happening. Now, speculation is that it is about the gag order request from the defense. Maybe the prosecution has found evidence to show that they are the ones leaking information where they're blaming the government to be the people doing so. Again, not sure what that is about, but looking forward to finding out. In the meantime, let's talk about this Diddy court witness that had said he saw 8 tapes with at least 2 celeb minors. And we know this court witness to be Courtney Burgess. Courtney Burgess is the man who is said to have been the one to provide the information to the white guy who was the face of the Kim Porter book. Courtney Burgess said he's the one that gave that information, and he had Todd working for him. He decided to do some YouTube interviews for whatever reason, and all of a sudden now the feds are trying to hunt him down. He said it took 4 days for the feds to nail him down with a subpoena for him to testify to the grand jury. And he did. Okay, I believe this happened last Thursday, and which was October 31st. And he provided the feds and or the grand jury with the information that he had, which is thumb drives, videotapes with alleged celebrities being victimized and who seem to be also under the influence. But I wanted to formally talk about it. So I'm going to read this article from News Nation or show this video, and then we'll get into it.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appear to
Let me
be,
rephrase
right,
it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all. To be honest, all.
Were victims or were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized.
Yeah.
Meaning this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
Okay, so you heard the man. He was in possession of 8 tapes with Diddy and celebrities, and that 2 to 3 of those celebrities were minors at the time, and that they didn't know seemingly that they were being recorded. They seemed to be under the influence of some type of drug, alcohol, or a combination of both. and as well, they seem to be victims in the situation. So, of course, Combs has denied all allegations in past statements, and but yet, this is currently in very early stages as far as this information being given over to the feds. They're currently still investigating Diddy. They have an open grand jury investigation where, they're finding things and then putting people in front of this grand jury to see if there's an indictment there, if there's a crime. Now, he also, on the other side of it, has a lot of civil lawsuits happening. And some of this stuff is starting to cross over. I noticed in some of the filings that are going on, specifically with this gag order request, the judge is being asked to silence attorneys, civil and criminal, silence them and silence the accusers on both sides as well. And this is coming from Diddy's, his lawyers, asking the judge to quiet basically everybody but them. So the government has hit back. Like I said, I read the argument, but there's a supplemental letter. We don't know why. We can't see it yet, but we're going to find out. But it's pretty unheard of to, especially with such a high profile case, to try to blanketly quiet everybody from speaking about this defendant. But yet their family members coming out, the mother is speaking out, the children are speaking out. But yet, they want everybody else to shut up. Now, just to recap, Courtney Burgess, a Sean Diddy Combs investigation court witness, exclusively told News Nation's Banfield on Thursday that he was given 11 flash drives containing at least 8 S-tapes involving 8 celebrities. Burgess testified before the Combs grand jury in the Southern District of New York on Thursday. Among the 8 celebrities who were Combs' victims, 2 to 3 were minors, according to Burgess. Burgess said he was working in Atlanta when his former associate, Kim Porter, an ex-girlfriend of Combs, shared the flash drives with him. Burgess also received a manuscript from Porter's alleged memoir titled Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side. The book details physical abuse, coercion, and other acts of violence Combs allegedly committed. The $22 paperback had a quiet release on Amazon, but sales skyrocketed after the news of Combs' arrest and the shocking details of the indictment against him. Ariel Mitchell, Burgess's attorney, said that the alleged tapes, quote, tell the story of what Diddy has done over the past 30 years, his deviant activities, end quote. She also said, I would imagine that this is what is encompassed if said flash drives exist. Now, Burgess says that he's no longer in possession of the tapes. And, we're assuming because he shouldn't have had them in the first place. I spoke on this before about, the fact that he's holding on to these tapes, making books, doing interviews. That book, $22 a pop, is sold over 1 million copies. So, there's some profiting happening over this criminal related evidence. This stuff going on with Diddy is very public. It is very high profile. And it's basically the hottest news out there as far as celebrity news goes. Yet, here they are, and I'm including the attorney Ariel as well, over here trying to profit. Now, I'm including her because she's been on a couple of other these cases with regard to Diddy, with regard to Chris Brown, I think even Trey Songz. She gets around. We see her Burberry down. She's clearly making a name for herself in the celebrity defense arena. But she's also told us that she brokers these kind of deals between celebrities and people who are trying to extort them. And it's interesting, though, to me, because that's clearly, a profit off of a crime. And there's been other attorneys. I remember in the R. Kelly case, or case is, you know, there was an attorney called Susan, what was that lady's name? Susan, I can't think of her last name, but she was that same person, brokering deals between R. Kelly and these young girls. And then, of course, taking her 30% cut or whatever her cut was from every single deal that was made over, you know, double digits, hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even into the millions. And the same thing with this Ariel Mitchell. Every deal she makes, she's getting a piece of it, and probably then some, because she may be even billing these people by the hour if she's not getting retainers. But regardless, these people are padding their pockets. Now, with regard to Courtney Burgess, he's really on dangerous ground. He's teetering on becoming a criminal himself, because especially if these tapes have children depicted being victimized and under the influence by a big celebrity, whether or not by a big celebrity, shall I say, seems to be a criminal act. It's child porn, especially when the child is under the influence and not knowing what's going on. I mean, it doesn't matter. A child can't consent, period. Person under the influence can't consent. So you have these tapes, you have 11 flash drives, 8 tapes, and Kim was holding on to this stuff. So if Kim gave him this stuff, or whoever this stuff, she was holding on to all these criminal recordings herself. I could see somebody like Kim maybe at some point saying, I can't do this anymore. Like, I have children. I want them to be safe. This guy is out of control. Like, I'm about to put his ass out on Front Street. I'm going to write a book. And, you know, she probably did think at the end she was going to do the right thing, but she wasn't doing the right thing when it was happening. So here we are with Courtney in the mix, and he should have went straight to the feds, to be honest. He should have went straight to the feds, and maybe they could have even linked Diddy to her unaliving. I mean, maybe they still are. I don't know. I don't know if that's a part of their investigation, but, you know, he could have been an instrumental part of that if he had done the right thing in the first place. But he was made to do the right thing, because that's what the feds are going to do. They're going to hunt you down. They're going to drag you into court. I mean, they can't make you go to court, but they can threaten you. Because if you're, you know, not walking a straight line yourself, you have things going on, present or past, that they can maybe scratch and sniff and figure it out, hang you up on some stuff, jam you up. Yeah, you're going to go and talk to them and cooperate, because you don't want nothing in your life to be messed with, to put you in a compromising position, because you don't want to work with these people. So, like I said, there's so many updates in this Diddy case. I'm going to be back with more. I'm just trying to piece it all together, make sure we are hitting everything that's going on. I'll deal with the court filings and things in a separate video, or maybe even a live. And then there's other angles of this going on. We have Allie Carter, who is the face, I guess, of children's trafficking, as said that she is someone to have been trafficked as a child herself. And she said that she has experience with Diddy's parties as a party favor. She's been telling us stories and giving us information of even before all this stuff has come out about Diddy, she's been talking, and it's all lining up. So there's what's going on with her. Then there's other civil victims or civil accusers coming out. There was another one more recently that I don't think I've talked about yet. So just all this to say is just that Diddy, you know, unfortunately for him and unfortunately for his children and whoever, his mother and people who love him, he has dug a hole so deep that it truly does have room for all of these things coming up against him to bury him in this deep hole he's in. He's in the hole, and all this stuff is now covering him up. So I don't know what magic he might have up his sleeve to get up out of this, but it's going to take something more than just our human processes. He's going to have to get that voodoo lady to go and do something on his behalf. I would just suggest he get on his knees and pray to God. Pray to the Creator. Call on Jesus. But yeah, I'm going to be back. Make sure you're subscribed and also like this video, please. I appreciate it so much. And then, yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace and love. Till next time. Bye.
Bruce, toodaloo. Move around. Go on somewhere. Do you. You know, get on. Scat. Bye. Dip. Flee.